and welcome back to Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair Blind. In the last one, we actually managed to investigate an entire area. Guys, we investigated the entirety of Titty Typhoon in one episode. It took me like 3 to get through the beach house. Whew! We're really making progress. And now, we're gonna go follow Nagito, I guess, to the... I was about to say music venue again. Oh, right, oops, yeah. Sorry, Mikan. Right, I've got to get Mikan's autopsy, and then we're going to go to the movie theatre with Nagito. Sorry, Mikan. Forgot about you. I'm sorry. How about it, Mikan? Have you found out anything by now?
To tell you the truth, it's been very inconclusive. But it's not my fault. This music venue is just too hot. Because of the heat, I can't estimate the time of death.
I kind of wondered if that's what was going on here. For reference, I don't even know if it was a year ago at this point. Might have been. About a year ago, I was playing through the entire Ace Attorney series, and and in Spirit of Justice, the third case, there is an element just like this there, just like the reverse, like, because it was so cold, time of death couldn't be estimated. It's the same principle, just different levels of heat. I think it's something to do with, like, body decay. Like, if it's too cold, the body doesn't decay. Like, obviously, it's what the fucking morgue was for in Danganronpa 1. But whereas when it's too hot, the body can, like... I think it decays a little bit faster. It's something like that. Or it might actually be that it somewhat halts decay there as well. I don't think that's true, but, you know. I think I already read that line. Because of the heat. Is that possible?
If a body is overexposed to heat or cold, you won't be able to determine a precise time of death.
I see. That might have been the killer's goal. I mean, I can't see any other reason for it, so that would make sense. They covered up their time of death by using the heater to make the inside of the music venue hot. But that's weird.
Even if this heat is the killer's doing, is there any reason for them to cover up the time of death?
I agree. As long as I saw it, it should be clear what order the murders occurred in. Come on, Hajime! First was Ibuki, then Hiyoko.
And as long as this is an imitation murder, there shouldn't be any mistake in the order of the murders.
Imitation murder? Huh? Imitation murder?
You don't know, Hajime? I thought everyone already knew. It's a murder where the killer uses a creative work, like a song or a film, as an outline for their killings.
You know, I know what it is, Chiaki. I've had plenty of experience with that in Ace Attorney 2. Justice, anyone?
It's so common in detective novels, mangas, and video games. You start to get annoyed by it.
Oh, Justice, anyone? One of the most hated cases in the franchise? What? How would an imitation murder be related to this murder?
Well, they're based on the killing order, and the way they were killed, it's clearly an imitation of that movie.
Oh, the movie... Wait, are we the only one who didn't watch the movie? That movie? That assumption is... An imitation murder is the reason why the killer killed 2 people.
The goal was an imitation killer. Even so, why did they feel the need to do something like that?
And if that really was the case, then there would be no point in... Look, just saying, it seems like this is the only thing the heater was used for. Really no point in throwing off, like, time of death or whatever. Like, that's actually not what I was trying to say at all, but that's what came out. What I mean to say is, what else was it used for? If not to obfuscate the time of death, then what? And if it was, then the imitation murder is bullshit, just like with Byakuya last game. And on top of that, imitation murders are, just like in last game, really obvious and kind of dumb. And if you do an imitation murder, I mean, in real life, you're usually doing it to get some of the fame that original killers had. In this circumstance, it usually just paints a bright red target on your back of, yes, look at me, I did it,
Do you have a minute?
Excuse me, if this really was an imitation of that movie, then is it possible that one more person might have been killed?
It's certainly conceivable, if the killer wishes to complete the imitation. Hold on a sec! What are you all talking about? An imitation murder? One more person might have been killed?
Are you guys worried that there's gonna be another victim? Then no worries. Things are getting out of hand too fast if a bunch of people could be killed at once. I'm a real cautious fella, so I've prepared a perfect countermeasure. On this killing school trip, the same blackened could only kill a maximum of 2 people.
You mean you've added another rule?
Well, if killing everyone at once is okay, the black one will be able to secure an easy victory, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, just get everyone in a room, just set off some gas, light it up, boom, everyone's dead. You could have taken us all out at the party,
This new rule will prevent that. Make sure you slam it into your tiny brains.
If it is a maximum of 2 people, then there will not be any more killings. Since you're here anyway, can I ask you one more thing? I just want to confirm one of the class trial rules.
I see. As expected of you, you're very strict about games.
I don't want to consider this possibility at all. And I don't even want to think someone would do this. If 2 cases occur at once, what happens if there are 2 killers? Like I said, I'm talking about the possibility that Ibuki and Hiyoko were killed by 2 different people. That would mean that 2 killers exist at the same time, but we can only vote for one person, right?
I am concerned.
If we can only choose one based on a majority vote, the other person could certainly achieve victory.
Yeah, you're right.
So what happens in that case? What about a case when there's 3 incidents instead of 2? Or if 4 incidents overlap one another? If 4 incidents overlap one another.
Shut up! It's okay, I'll make extra sure something like that never happens.
Meaning 2 killers can't exist at the same time. So it's safe to say that applies to this case too, right?
Oh, Chiaki! You outmaneuvered him to get a little bit of info! What a very Nagito move of you.
Ah! Alright, fine. That's right, there's always one killer at any given time. Even if they had an accomplice, I'll have you figure out who the mastermind is. Man, I ended up giving you a huge hint. She made me say it. Gamer brains are not to be underestimated. I should just shut up and go back to my cave.
It seems like a weird, gamer flex. Woo! Sorry. I just thought it sounded really stupid. Let's see. There's no possibility for 2 killers to exist at the same time. But this, I guess that narrows things down a little. Or does it? We might be following here the Danganronpa 1 rulebook, right? Where sure, Celeste was the only one even remotely considered for punishment, but technically Hifumi killed as well. And I'm only saying that because of my theory about Ibuki, right? How she kills Hiyoko and then she's, like, set up to kill herself, right? Which, you know, I guess, technically speaking, she could be responsible for both, but then it's who's the mastermind of this sort of thing. But, you know, I'm not sure, for starters, I'm not even sure if that's the right, like, if that theory is correct. But second of all, if it is correct, I don't know how they'd handle it. Obviously, which is why I'm having this dilemma.
Yeah, that makes things a little easier.
Plus, if the same killer can kill a maximum of 2 people, it means a third victim would be impossible. Imitation murder breakthrough. You guys keep saying that you keep saying that, and it sounds strange to me. What do you guys mean by imitation?
Could it be? You haven't seen it?
Seen it? Seriously, seen what?
Like I said, that movie.
Oh my.
When we first explored this island, Monokuma was passing out invitation tickets.
Then the imitation is... Of course, it's an imitation of that movie.
Well, based on the murders this time, it closely resembles that movie, as if they were copying it.
As if they copied the movie? I see. Nagito mentioned something about that.
Then it can't be helped. I guess I'll just have to rely on my gut feelings.
Gut feelings?
You should try. You should come by later too. I'll go there first and wait for you.
Where exactly are you talking about?
Well, obviously the movie theater.
I don't think that happened in here.
I see. So you haven't seen it. Still, it's not too late. I think. It's probably a good idea if you watch that movie before the class trial starts.
Looks like I need to do that.
Then I should get going too. There are other places I want to investigate. Where do you intend to go next, Chiaki? Probably the hospital for sure. The first victim, Ibuki, was there. I don't know what was going on at the hospital in the first place.
You are right.
Thanks to that despair disease, we could not go there for some time.
She's right. It might be good for me to investigate the hospital too. There might be some clues related to Ibuki's death. For clues related to Hiyoko's death, I should try going over to the motel. There's still a lot of things I can do before the class trial. I'll definitely give it my all until the end. Oh, yikes. Like, everyone is gone. Well, I guess we'll talk to you two, then. Oh, okay. Same stuff. It's not my fault. Music venue's so hot. Get that already. Calm down. It's because behind us. We've cut out some deaths. It's imitation murder. Yes. Okay. Cool. Kane, got anything for me? I highly doubt it, but...
Just a little bit more time. I'll be back to my old self. This ain't like me at all.
Yeah, I guess. just stand around and not do much. Yeah, I guess that's, yeah, anyway, look, she helped me, that one time? She gave me, well, no, I gave her a piggyback ride. And then she told me about, what was it? Her mother's boyfriends? Which was, great. Really wanted to hear that. Okay, hello you two. I just remembered I never went inside any of the rooms in the motel. Plus, I don't even know where Hiyoko's room is. It might be faster to just ask someone. Is it just these two? It is just these two. Yo, Gundam! I mean, you'd know of us two.
You're here, right? Come on out!
Huh? You talking to me?
I can see you. Did you really think you could hide your presence like that?
I wasn't trying to hide in the first place. Hey, which room was Hiyoko staying in?
Open the door to the center room. However, are you prepared? Make sure you pray to whatever god you hold dear. And you might want to bring an extra pair of underwear.
Jesus, is it that bad? I wonder, how does this guy talk to his parents and teachers? You know, that is a good question. Gundam, are you like this in your everyday life?
Damn right.
Hey, Hajime, can you explain it to me again? What happened when you first discovered Ibuki's body? It was the same as when I found it with you guys. Ibuki's body was hanging from the baton lighting. However, there was no body discovery announcement made. That's why I went to get you guys. I met up with Chiaki at this motel, and when we were about to get back to the music venue, you met out with Mika and me. And when we went back to the music venue, the entrance door wouldn't open for some reason, presumably because the green shit slid in between the gap. So we had no choice but to break down the door and discover Yoko's body was suddenly there too. Yeah, that's what happened. This is the most important part. When you arrived at the motel, who else saw you besides Chiaki? As I recall, it would just be Gundam and Usami. Sorry, not Usami, Monami. Didn't you hear me? A body was found!
Money? Yeah!
Could it be? Do you intend to spread lies like Nagito in order to confuse us all? Besides Chiaki, I also saw Gundam and Monami. I see. So Kazuichi and Sonya didn't appear. Yeah, you're on my wavelength, eh, Fuyuhiko? Do you think those two are suspicious? Well, Yoko was killed between the time you saw Ibuki's body and when we broke down the door, right? No. So obviously those two are the most suspicious since they weren't with us. That might be it, but... while we're at it, let me tell you my alibi too. When the morning Monokuma announcement woke me up, I went straight to the hospital. I saw Mika and panicking in front of the hospital. I asked her what's going on, and she said Ibuki disappeared. So, you guys split up and looked for Ibuki, huh?
Well, yeah.
While we were circling the island, we came to the motel and saw you guys there. Wait, you split up, or you were together? Because if you split up, then technically neither of you have an alibi. Did you see anyone else while you circled the island? No, we went to the movie theater and that street full of machines to look for Ibuki, but we didn't see anyone. You implying I don't have an alibi because I didn't run into anyone? It's unreasonable for you to doubt me. The time that Mika and I were on our own looking for Ibuki wasn't very long. That short time, there's no way I could have killed Yoko and wrapped her around the pillow with duct tape. Okay, so they were apart, which technically means that, yeah, he doesn't have an alibi. But I think more importantly, it means that Mikan doesn't have an alibi. Considering that she's one of the suspects. Well, I mean, technically he is as well, but I just don't see it. Not in this case, like... I mean, I've said this all along, I don't think Fuyuhiko will kill anyone, partially because it's just too obvious. But especially in this chapter, like, I just don't foresee it being a thing. It's true. I feel like there wasn't enough time to do that after I left the music venue. But the fact is, Yoko was killed, and we did discover her body. What? You still doubt me? Well, I'm used to it. It's true, I've done things that I do deserve to be doubted for. So don't worry. Even if you doubt me, I don't plan on dismembering you and encasing you in concrete. I'd want to know in advance what I'd have to do to end up like that. Okay, Fuyuhiko's account. Is that... That could be we weren't... Like, me and Mikan weren't together, or it could be Mikan and I were together. It's gonna... I have a feeling it's gonna be either or. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Looks like it's locked, but... The key was inside her kimono. Maybe if I use this. It opened, just as I thought. This key was Hiyoko's room key. Alright, should go inside. Motel, guest room. Monokuma, you in here? No? So, Hiyoko was staying here. She only stayed here a few nights, so it doesn't really feel like her room, but I feel a little conflicted.
Oh my.
Huh? Did the door open?
Yeah, Hiyoko put the key in her kimono, so I used that to open it.
I see.
What, did something happen?
No, it is just... I am starting to believe it might be my fault.
Her fault? What does she mean? Okay, what can I look at in here? The sink and the bed, apparently. Anything else in here?
Oh, doesn't really look like it. Oh, yes, there is. Gotcha. Gotcha. Gonna make Ace Attorney references. I can double down on that. Oh, sink. Thank you. There's a mirror, but it's so small and rusty. Oh my god, that is exactly the same fucking mirror I have in my bathroom. And my bathroom mirror is also small and very rusty. There's no way anyone can use this. Well, okay, I can use mine, but... okay, can't look at the fridge. But hey, there's a whole fucking fridge in here. The bed isn't messed up. Doesn't look like she was abducted in her sleep. Mm-hmm. Choke on my spit, fuck! Drink, clear me. Oh, thank God. I went back to juice. It's so much better than the Pepsi. I mean, not necessarily... Well, no, not necessarily taste-wise, but it's way better for my throat. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about her not being kidnapped, having to leave voluntarily.
The moment Hiyoko came to this motel, she completely shut herself in this room.
Right, I think you had already told us that? She was afraid of the despair disease, so she was cautious of you guys too, right? Either way, someone told us over one of the calls about, that.
However, her fear of the disease was not the only reason she locked herself in her room. She had another reason.
Besides that disease, what other reason would make her lock herself in her room?
Her kimono.
Her kimono?
Yesterday I went to go talk to her.
Aw. That's nice. Cause I said something about... Oh man, Sonia, you should have said that to her, about being friends. Well, I'm glad she was making an effort. That's nice. That's very, very kind of you, Sonia.
Since she had been in her room for some time, I told her it might be good for her to go outside for a bit. She kept the door to her room locked, but by coincidence it was not locked at that time. And then I saw it. Hiyoko was crying and struggling with her kimono sash.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Sonia. This is actually indispensably good and useful. We now know Hiyoko could not, or still could not, tie her kimono then. Which means it was definitely tied by someone else. Why? Don't know. In fact, that makes me think that the key was planted. And I'll tell you why. Because there's no way a key is staying inside a fucking loose kimono. It is a robe. It is not, like, hard. It is just a fucking robe. And usually silk. Like, that shit is not keeping a key in place. But I digress.
She did not want to smell bad, so she took a shower. But then she could not tie her sash anymore. Mahiru was no longer with us, so I believe she was having trouble with it.
She didn't leave her room because she couldn't tie her kimono, huh? Ugh.
The others might have thought it was just a silly sash, but it must have been a serious issue for her. Hyuko told me that she learned how to tie her sash from Mahiru. Mahiru kindly taught her the basics.
Oh, fucking hell, man. I know, I think it was the last episode, not the episode before, that I said this. That, like, not being able to tie her sash is extra fucking depressing considering her backstory, but, like, having to learn the basics from Mahiru, like, fucking... Seriously? Family's fucked, man. I just feel so shit. God damn it. Why is it that both third case, second victims, who are probably going to turn out to have been the first victims, have really shit family lives? And good dads. Like, what the fuck? Are Hiyoko and Taka just the same character? I mean, obviously not, but, like, fucking hell, man. I guess I just have a character type that I like as well, then. And that's why she wanted to be able to tie a sash on her own.
Perhaps.
She probably could not forgive herself for not being able to do it, especially since Mahiru taught her. I could not really understand her feelings, which is why I said what I did.
What did you say?
Hugo, by chance, are you having trouble wearing your kimono? Stupid! What are you saying? Of course I can do it! Because Mahiru taught me. That's why I can do it on my own. If that is the case, how about you do it someplace where there is a mirror? Do you remember the full-length mirror in the storage room at the music venue?
Yeah. Oh, no! Oh, Sonia, you might actually be right there. You may well have just sent Hiyoko to her death there. So, I mean, we know now why she left. And considering the bloodstain on the stage, yeah, it seems pretty likely that Hiyoko was killed when she went there. Why she was on the stage, I don't know. But, yeah, no. I don't really know why she'd be on the stage, but I suppose the positioning doesn't ultimately matter that much. Or it might actually, it might be super important. But hey, I mean, maybe actually she did tie her own kimono and she went into the... She went there, she went in the extra room, looked in the mirror, tied her kimono, left, and then immediately got axed. I mean, that would make sense too, right? Like, if she walked in there and, like, they were already there, then she'd just fucking turn around and leave. Like, you know, that's just what you do. I mean, she'd see, like, that's also assuming you'd, like, open the door, be exclusively looking behind you, close the door, then look forward. You know? But, alternatively, even in that scenario, they could have, like, followed her in. Although, also, considering my Ibuki theory, Sonia's just got another set of red flags. If, you know, or her first set of them. I meant, again, because, like, last case, I was like, so Sonia! But, if my Ibuki theory is right, then Sonia sending Hiyoko off basically just meant she then followed, or sent sent Ibuki to follow Hiyoko, and then, well, more like, but, you know, neck slice. Oh, man. Man, she has a really small torso in proportion to her legs, eh?
If you do it while standing in front of a large mirror, I am confident you will be successful.
Like, Jesus Christ, where do her hips, like, start? Like, there? Jesus Christ. I thought Byakuya had long legs.
Also, shutting yourself in your room like this may be bad for your health.
Hey! Oi, Sonia. Saying being inside all day is bad for your health. Fuck you. That's my lifestyle.
And that was when she kicked me out.
It cannot be.
Could it be? Hiyoko remembered that?
Are you saying she went to the music venue to wear her kimono? I can see that happening. Hiyoko locked her room and made sure she put the room key inside her kimono. I can't imagine that she was abducted by someone. If so, that's weird. Hey, did you tell anyone about that before the incident? Or was someone listening in on your conversation?
I never told this to anyone, and I do not believe anyone was listening in on our conversation.
Well then, assuming Sonia isn't the murderer, then either that was one hell of a coincidence that Hiyoko went in and then was then followed by Ibuki and the murderer. Or maybe just Ibuki, the murderer doesn't have to be there too. Maybe it would be advantageous for them to not be there at all. Or they were there beforehand. Although, again, there really is so little evidence that anyone other than Ibuki was in there. Which, you know... someone had to be in there eventually. But, like, at the time of the killings? I don't know. Nobody knew. If that's the case, how did the killer know Hiyoko was going to the music venue? Something's wrong. Well, when you put it like that, it makes it immediately sound like you're doubting Sonia. I don't see anything else that looks suspicious. There's no sign that someone made a mess of her room, and I don't think she was forcibly abducted. I feel like I couldn't really find any important clue. Oh well. Oh well, indeed. Alright. Bye, guys. Leave here. Yes! So... who's left? I think it's just Nagito and Chiaki, right? And they've already told us where they're gonna be. So, let's go. I think it's Nagito next, right? Oh, no. Okay, it's Electric Avenue first. Then it's Nagito, right? Yes. Okay. This is kind of where I was trying to go in the first place, but, well, I was inevitably going to hit something beforehand, apparently. I didn't know the layout of this place very well, clearly.
Why, hello there, Hajime. I knew you'd come here.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That means you noticed it too, right? The case this time is an imitation case, in which the killer used that movie as their theme.
I wouldn't know. I haven't watched that movie yet.
I see. Then you really should watch this movie first. Hey, manager! A customer's here!
Yes? Did you call me? Huh? Hajime's the customer, but we already had a whole hullabaloo about how he wasn't gonna watch the movie.
Do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with that?
And you said you didn't want to watch it. But I knew you wanted to see it all along. If that's what Tsundere Hajime looks like, then you're a really tough guy. Then you're really a tough guy. Oops, shit. You were so devoted to being a tsundere, you even brought the Monokuma sticker for $1.5 million. I said brought, didn't I? I meant bought. Fuck.
You paid $1.5 million for a sticker?
It's nothing. And you said you'd do it too, you dickhead.
In exchange for not watching this movie, Hajime paid $1.5 million for a Monokuma sticker. Come on, since we're talking about it anyway, why don't you show it to Nagito?
I mean, it was a great sticker. I loved it, but... in the grand scheme of things, apparently it was detrimental to not to not see it. Stop it! But my resistance was in vain, and Monokuma reached into my pocket and took the sticker.
See? It's this one. I'm sorry I was born stupid.
You bought this for $1.5 million?
But in the end, he's still gonna watch the movie.
Who cares about that anymore? Just hurry up and give me an invitation ticket.
Okay, here you go. It already says so on the invitation, but it's only effective today at this time.
Effective today, on this date, at this time. Isn't today the date? Not... okay, whatever.
By the way, I can only give away 1 ticket per person. You only have 1 chance to watch it for free. I've already stamped today's date onto the ticket, so you won't be able to cheat.
I was gonna say that it looks incomprehensible. I think it's just Japanese. And then, 04 a.m.? Don't worry, I only plan to watch it once.
Then I'll go prepare the the projection reel. Please wait a bit, okay?
Hajime, about that invitation ticket. I strongly recommend you keep that safe.
Huh? Why?
No reason. Just think of it as a protective charm.
Great. Evidence. Then it's important. I guess I should just wait until Monokuma finishes his preparations. Oh, wait, do we have to leave then?
Hajime, I can't believe you bought that thing. You paid $1.5 million for it, too.
But even you said you should have just settled it with money to get out of seeing that movie.
Right, but that means I would have had to buy that thing, you know?
Just leave me alone. Get out of my face, Nagito.
Hold on, I'm still in the middle of preparing. Don't rush, don't rush. Hasty boys get hated, you know. They might even get hated by boy bears, too, you know.
You can hate me all you want.
You came all this way to not watch it? Your tsundere knows no limits. It's just like me to make Hajime so prickly. I might be hiding a past where I was once known as a prima donna of the mascot world.
You definitely weren't called that.
It's about time you showed your dere side, you know? Come on, liven yourself up a little.
I mean, Hajime was pretty dere with, or during his free time events, you know? I mean, comparatively anyway. Look, I'm just saying. Mihiru, best girl. I'm just saying. Look, it was a cute final FTE. I don't care. I don't care whether you ship it or not. To be honest, I don't really ship it as of right now, because I wait till the end of the game to get my ships in order, you know? But, just saying, regardless, it was adorable.
So, wait for a bit, okay?
But I Monokuma, you fucking prick! Do I have to talk to Nagito again?
The invitation ticket from earlier. You should keep that safe, just in case.
No? Okay. Oh, wait. The hemp bag's gone. I need to... Okay. I should be looking at the goods corner. That reminds me, that item should be on top of the counter. I thought I was gonna have to fucking leave, go to the hospital, and come back at the end. This one looks like a tote bag made of hemp cloth, with a decal of Monomi's face on it.
Ah, did that catch your eye? It's an all-purpose tote bag useful for a variety of common tasks. It's a limited item. Only one person can have it.
If the tote bag is gone, that means...
Whoa there! Were you interested in buying that tote bag? Well, that's just too bad. It's already sold out.
Who'd you sell it to?
Stupid. There's no way I'd fall for that. There's no way I'd say something that'd reveal who the killer is.
And so the killer bought it.
Ah!
I remember you said that there was only one because it's a limited item, right?
It's not limited to one. It's more like it's limited to one person.
What's the difference?
When you buy one bag, you get another one free. It's a common practice to bait customers with bonus prizes.
So there were two bags then. For some reason, hearing you say that pisses me off. Oh, hello, Monokuma's account.
Now then, I should forget that I carelessly made a slip of the tongue.
Oh, it probably just says the murderer is the one with the tote bag, alright. And it found its way onto Ibuki, so...
Looks like the preparations are complete, so please enter the theater right away! This is exciting! Exciting!
Did I notice that they just spelled theatre wrong? Or is that just like a British thing that you... It's probably a British thing, never mind. Yeah, it's just a British thing. Jesus Christ.
I apologize for keeping you waiting. World-famous director Monokuma presents a stunning masterpiece that reduced American audiences to tears. The Wizard of Monami 2.5D will be screening shortly.
Whoa, 2.5D, just like this game. From the title alone, I have a bad feeling about this. 2.5D, that sounds so half-assed.
Please relax and enjoy the
Nice. This game's really good at self-burning. Oh, I will, Monokuma. Am I gonna have to voice act it? The Wizard of Monami, 2.5D.
Monokuma was born in a remote village full of old people because the death rates outpaced the birth rates.
What? What the fuck?
One day, Monokuma was swept up by a tornado created by a helicopter gunship during a routine military exercise,
Oh my god.
and was whisked away to Monami's country.
Oh, that's a good name.
Monokuma wanted to return to his homeland so he could go back to pestering the old people for change. So he began his journey to see the wizard Monami, who was rumored to grant any wish one desires. Along the way, he met a very loyal group of friends.
Oh, did he? I wonder who they are.
Monokuma met a Monami scarecrow who was missing a brain. When he recommended that she commit suicide, the Monami scarecrow hanged herself and died.
Oh no. Oh no! That is exactly what I said happened to Ibuki.
He also met a Monami lion who was missing her courage, so he pumped her full of arrows. He also met a Monami tin man who was missing a heart, so Monokuma sliced her into lumps of iron.
Ouch.
After a
Oh
long
my
process,
god.
Monokuma finally reached the wizard Monami, the great and powerful.
Monokuma, I think you've got the wrong idea. That's the wicked Monami of the Monami, I guess.
One thing led to another, and he started beating the crap out of Monami. And in
As
the
always.
end, he somehow usurped the kingdom from her.
Somehow. And then he went home.
Monokuma enslaved the old people, took their pensions, and lived the rest of his days in luxury.
Oh my god.
And he lived happily ever after. The end.
Oh, I mean, that's a very short film. I would not pay full admissions for that, but... Oh, it's fucking funny. Although they said Imitation Murder, I'm only seeing Ibuki in there. I ain't seeing the duct taped person. I mean, I guess Hiyoko doesn't have a heart, but tush. So, is she the Tin Man? But I mean, she wasn't cut apart. Oh, fuck, oh, that'd be gross. Ugh. Ew. Like she was decapitated instead. Okay, moving on.
Man, movies are the best. That drama was so motivating that I needed 2 boxes of tissues.
Fuck you.
One for each head.
Oh my god. Monokuma, we already went over this. You don't have these parts. Maybe you do in this game.
Oh, my pure white stuffing. Now then, let's meet again at the class trial. Goodbye, bye, bye.
I'm too disgusted to even let out a sigh right now. That's all I can say to describe this situation. Well, that sure was a movie. How was it? Yeah, actually, I don't even have to ask. I totally expected your reaction. That was honestly the worst movie I've ever seen. Is it even okay to call that a movie? Probably not. I don't think it would meet the length requirement, but it certainly was a short film. But thanks to that movie, now you know, right? Yeah. Just like he said, the characters who were killed in the movie match the victims in this case. No, they don't. Ibuki fits. Hiyoko does not. Ibuki's death by hanging matched the Scarecrow's death in the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko's suspended body matches the lion's death too. That's absolute fucking bullshit. Are you serious? Is that the logic we're going with here? Really? Because that makes no sense. That's a leap in logic if I've ever seen it. It would have been a complete imitation if the killer killed 3 people, but it seems that wasn't possible. Perhaps the killer is upset about that right now, or... If the killer's main goal was just an imitation murder, they should be upset about it, but... I'm not sure if that's even true. Yeah, because it's not an imitation murder, it is very, very clearly not. I know we went over, like, death order and whatever, but, like, Hiyoko just doesn't match up. Yeah, just like you said, the characters couldn't really match. Okay, yeah, same thing. It doesn't, don't even come at me with that bullshit. Anyway, I think we're gonna end the episode here. I'm a little worried, though. I feel like there's not gonna be much in next episode. Like, we're just... Should I just go and make this long, then? Fuck it. I'm just gonna make this a really long episode. Because unless there's something to do after the hospital, then, like, all we're gonna do is meet at the class trial grounds. And then we'll jump right in there. Like, I don't know what else we'd go to look at, to be honest. Because we were pretty exclusively locked to this island, and we haven't, like, gone anywhere else.
I feel like I haven't been here in a while, even though it's only really been a few days.
Well, that was helpful, Chiaki. Yo, Kazuichi. Hey, you prepared that surveillance camera unit, right? We haven't seen you pretty much all deadly life. Yeah, so, I didn't make any weird modifications or anything. It's not like I'm suspicious or anything. Didn't you get this from that shady-looking alley where all those machines were lined up? Yeah, I just tweaked it a little. Then, if there are other surveillance camera units, would it be possible to transmit a signal to the hospital from those cameras too? No, that's impossible. Originally, surveillance cameras and surveillance monitors were only used as part of the same unit. The video that was filmed with the hospital camera can only be viewed on the hospital monitor. The video that was filmed with the music venue camera can only be... Yeah, sorry, I thought I just added that camera in. Camera can only be seen on the music venue monitor. But if I left it like that, we wouldn't have been able to communicate, so I decided to swap the cameras. So that's how you guys are able to view the hospital footage from the music venue and vice versa. However, each surveillance camera unit manages its broadcast based on a specific number. So even if you bring the same model camera or monitor, you won't be able to interfere with the signal. Meaning, even if another surveillance camera exists, it'd be impossible to broadcast with it. However, I didn't just swap the cameras. I modified them and increased the wireless range. If I hadn't done that, we wouldn't have been able to use it. You're right, you did work on that. Okay, do I have to look at these like this as well? The surveillance camera unit on top of the reception desk. As long as the music venue's surveillance camera unit is destroyed, it's impossible to broadcast with this.
Hey, Hajime. There's something I want to ask you. You first discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue, right? But why did you go to the music venue? You had a reason for that, right?
Yeah, because of the transmission.
Did you see something with this camera?
That's right.
Oh, I also wanted to ask you that. It'd be different if the surveillance camera unit, god damn it, that's for some reason really hard for me to say, could record, but it's only good for household functions.
Tell me, Hajime.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I saw a strange video in that surveillance camera unit. Yeah, strange is one way to put it. It showed the music venue stage. There was a black curtain hanging like there is now. The whole display was pretty dark because they were using candlelight. There was rope hanging from the ceiling, and beneath that, there was a stepladder on the floor. And right away, a person wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head appeared. I didn't know who it was because their face was covered, but now I know that it must have been Ibuki. She walked straight to the stepladder, and without any hesitation, she climbed that stepladder of her own free will. And then she grabbed that rope, and that's all I saw. The candlelight being used must have been snuffed out or something, because the screen went dark all of a sudden, and it wasn't displaying anything anymore. No, I sort of retracted this, but I have a feeling it was probably more likely that the monitor was broken in that moment. Well, if the candlelight goes out, obviously nothing will show up. Modern surveillance cameras have infrared functions, so things can show up even in the dark. But the one I got from Machine Alley was a really old model.
Hold on.
Well,
At the time, you said you didn't know the person wearing the handbag was Ibuki, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's true. In that, you can't actually see their hair, obviously for the sake of suspense, but... technically, yeah, we didn't know it was Ibuki until we let her down and let the bag off her head, even if we could see her hair. You didn't know it was her, but you saw she was trying to hang herself. So you rushed over to the music venue to try to stop her. Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. But I didn't make it in time. Still, if she climbed the stepladder on her own, does that mean she committed suicide? Wouldn't that mean she's her own killer? Ibuki committed suicide? What do you think, Chiaki?
There's no doubt Ibuki climbed the stepladder on her own, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
If so...
Hey, don't think for so long. If you don't know, just be honest about it. Well, of course she doesn't. There's no way we'd be able to figure that out so easily. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to investigate the conference room on the second floor. I'm heading over there.
What the heck? She ran away all of a sudden, and she was pouting kind of cutely. She said the conference room, but why would she mention the conference room all of a sudden? So, I might just be overthinking, but did she seem a little upset? I'm not sure what about. Maybe Kazuichi telling her she didn't know what she was talking about? Oh, yeah, sorry, I always do that. I just press circle thinking I can leave. Well, not leave into the thingy. Like, oh, hello, Akane. How you doing?
now then.
You, finally getting back to my normal self. Hajime, help me out with my recovery. You can touch my boobs if you win. Okay, lovely. No thanks. She was bearable when she was quiet. It'd be so much better if she was still feeling the after effects. Oh, I agree. She'd beat me up if I said that out loud. Also probably true. Anyway, why are you here?
Well, I've never been single her before, so I had no idea, but the hospital gown's pretty comfy. I was thinking I might as well keep wearing one.
Don't tell me you plan to wear hospital gowns from now on.
Yeah, that's the idea, but it looks like they're out of stock. It looked like there was one gown for each patient's room, so I thought it'd be more in the empty rooms.
There weren't any gowns?
Yeah, that's right. Ibuki died wearing one, so the only one left is the one Nagito was wearing. If I have no choice, then I should just use Nagito's. It's a unisex one. It's unisex size, so I'll probably be able to fit in it.
Hold on, what happened to the gown you were wearing?
Are you saying I should wear the one I already wore? That's gross.
Wearing clothes someone else was wearing is even grosser, especially if it's Nagito after what happened recently with him.
No time to dilly-dally. Totally left me coming back to the music venue. Crap, I gotta go back soon.
Well, you just fucked up guard duty, Akane! Fuck's sake. Especially considering she's one of the prime suspects. Well, it's okay, since I already investigated the music venue. But leaving her on guard duty was a bad idea. Although, I think what she said was probably quite important, right? Like, that didn't get added to evidence, but there's one for each room, right? And I was thinking about that as she was talking. What about the one Fuyuhiko was wearing? He was in this room, right? I kind of want to go in there just to double check it, but, see if we can see anything. Looks like this is an open room. There shouldn't be anybody inside. I should look somewhere else. Really? We're not going to look in Ibuki's room? Okay. Whatever. Same as Mikan keeping me out of there for plot reasons, right? Okay, yep, same thing. Yeah, I feel like what Akane said there might end up being kind of important. So conference room. This one. Hospital conference room. What's this? It's pitch black. I can't see anything. Where's the switch?
Don't turn it on.
Huh? Chiaki? Are you there?
If you turn on the light, it's going to be fully exposed. It'd be embarrassing.
What's fully exposed?
Hey, Hajime, if you poke out your eyes, you can turn on the light. What are you going to do? Are you going to poke them out?
I'm not gonna poke out my eyes.
Aww.
Bummer. Troll fail. Oh my gosh! Wow, she actually said that? That's so unbelievably lame that it's kind of endearing. No sooner did she finish saying that, I heard the dry sound of curtains being drawn. It was a flash of intense light that stung my eyes a little. I squinted my eyes until they started adjusting to the light. I saw Chiaki had finished opening the curtain that was covering the window. You know, she was like this last chapter as well, wasn't she? When we went to Mahiru's room, she was like,
Hey, let's check under her bed for dirty magazines.
Is that Chiaki's idea of lightening the mood, or is she just a little bit perverted? Because to be honest, considering this cast, maybe she's just a bit of a perv. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of the impression I'm getting. Maybe that's why people like her a lot.
Were you surprised?
Surprised? I don't get it.
I got it.
Got what?
The curtain in this conference room are designed to completely block out light. There's a projector in here, so they were probably careful about light shining through. See? A black curtain that blocks light, and it's also long enough to reach the floor. It's perfect.
Yeah, perfect for those really fucking weird windows. A black light-blocking curtain. That's why it was so dark. So, is something wrong with it?
I'm still in the middle of investigating, so it's a secret.
Shh. Yep, she's upset. Still, what was that all about? A bit about it being embarrassing if I look and troll fail?
I just wanted to mess with you.
Yep, she's definitely upset. Why is she acting so childish? I guess I'm done investigating the hospital. We should move on to a different place. Yep, that was it. It literally took me 10 minutes. This episode would end up being like 20 minutes long if I just moved on, eh?
How's everybody doing? It's me, Monokuma! Yay! Awesome! The class trial's gonna start, you know. So, make sure you guys come to Monokuma Rock ASAP! I'll see you soon!
See you soon too, Monokuma. It's already time. Yeah, I got this done in 2 episodes! Jesus! So this again. I need to go to that place. Again. Now's not the time to be a coward. The reason Ibuki and Hiyoko became victims. In order to find the truth, the only thing I can do is go. Right. There's not been a lot of evidence to discuss, honestly. Next episode I will still, before we go into the trial, will still go over everything. In fact, I'll probably do it again, considering. But I think from, that last bit in the hospital, with Akane and Chiaki, this is going to be a case that super relies on evidence we're going to get during the trial. But I do have a thought as to who the killer is. And I'm basing it on 3 pieces of evidence. One of which is actually a piece of evidence, so I'll lead with that. One of which is, plot-related. And the final of which is literally a shot in the dark based on historical context and might not even be necessarily true. Again, it's very circumstantial. So, going over everyone, right? Obviously, Hajime, Chiaki, Nagito, they're fine. They're in the clear. Gundam, we basically gave an alibi to. He is in the clear. Akane basically has an alibi because of the despair disease. Nekomaru as well, I guess I'll include in this. Like, he hasn't even shown up yet, so I'm gonna say he's probably not the killer. Unless he is suddenly just gonna show up at the class trial, in which case him being the killer is possible, but we've got nothing that points to him, so I cannot confidently say that. And that leaves us with Sonya, Kazuichi, Fuyuhiko, Mikan. I've sort of ruled Fuyuhiko out purely on the basis of, like, character. Like, I just don't think it's right. But I can't do that. You know, I can't wholly do that. So let's just say he's the least suspicious to me right now. Following on from that, I think Kazuichi is the least suspicious here. Like, other than Fuyuhiko. And of the two girls, I am gonna say with relative confidence, actually, that I think Mikan is the murderer this time. And that is based on... a big bit of it is based on numero uno piece of evidenzo. Yeah, we'll leave that alone. The whole thing with the heater. That is... I'm not gonna say the thing about body decomposition is super niche. Hardly anyone would know that. But I am gonna say it is something a medical professional would probably know. Just saying. And if she is the killer, doing that gives her a perfectly valid excuse to not do an autopsy, because it might give her away, you know? And instead of just being like, oh, I couldn't find anything, because then, I don't know, someone else might look at it and be like, I disagree. There was a really simple thing you overlooked here. So, there's that one point there. On the other hand, I do think that it's debatable that Sonya might understand that, considering that she's a bit of a murder nut. And for the same reason, well, not for the same reason, but, you know, Fuyuhiko's a member of, like, an organised crime ring. He might know that sort of stuff. Like, for body, depositing, I guess it would be? We'll go with that. So, on that basis, Mikan I find most suspicious, Kazuichi I find least suspicious. Like, he's simultaneously an idiot and not an idiot. And I think in regards to this, he's an idiot. Now, other piece of evidence. Purely plot related. It's got nothing really to do with any evidence we've picked up, but I have said it before. There is absolutely no chance that Mikan doesn't have the despair disease. Not at all. Not in the slightest. She absolutely has to have it. Otherwise, the motive would have had no, like, weight behind it. That does, however, mean that if that's true, pretty much all accountability for this murder has been taken out of Mikan's hands, which is tragic in its own right, to be honest. But that's neither here nor there, because I don't know if that's actually true or not. Other than that, there is something that I noticed, right? In both descriptions of Hajime sleeping with Mikan, he always said that it was very hot. Now, that could just be because he's got a body on top of him, but I think that might have been an important little detail, because every other victim was characterized as having a high temperature. Characterized is not the right word to use there, but it's the one I chose in the end. But see what I mean? Might end up being quite important, and we did see that scene twice. And as, you know, as much as it was kind of fan-servicey, by Mikan's standards, it was really tame. So I have a funny feeling it's gonna end up being quite important. Also, I know I said that, like, by Mikan standards. It was literally only in Chapter 1. Which, funnily enough, we also had Mikan giving us a little bit of evidence there twice. Just saying. And the final one is pretty abstract, and it's really fucking weird, and it relies entirely on Hiyoko not being able to tie her kimono. So, I don't know how to start this without sounding big-headed, but this is a weird thing that sort of pays off with being a bit of a... I'm not going to say a history buff, because I'm not, but I do know my history. And I believe, anyway, that this is like a World War II sort of thing. The kimono sash, as we have established, is usually tied at the back, yes? When it's tied at the front, again, specifically during World War II, that was an indication that you were a prostitute. Or, perhaps more colloquially, a whore. Now, do I think that maybe, just maybe, in a little bit of revenge, Mikan killed Hiyoko and then tied her sash to be like, ha, who's the whore now? Maybe a little bit. Which, on one hand, is like, if everything I've said here is correct about, like, despair disease and whatever, and this thing with the kimono, if that's all true, then Jesus fucking Christ, Mikan, what a bitch. But also, you're not a bitch, because all accountability for this has been taken out of your hands because your personality has been drastically altered. And yeah, on that basis, I know that sounds really fucking weird, but on that basis, I'm most suspicious of Mikan. I also think Sonya's made a little less suspicious, considering that she actually gave us the bit of information about her going to see Hiyoko. Like, I don't think she would have given us that if she killed her. So yeah. That's what I'm gonna go with. There is also the extra added punch in the face of the girl A just killed girl B and C, albeit I'm still sticking with, like, indirectly. I haven't had an overall theory for how everything in this chapter has played out so far. I am quite confident, well, not confident, but my only theory right now is that, you know, for the sake of argument, Mikan had Ibuki kill Hiyoko and then kill herself. That is literally the only theory I've got right now. But yeah, for the sake of argument, I'm sticking my pin in Mikan on this one. I know I haven't actually really done that so far. I mean, Chapter 1, I didn't. Chapter 2, I also didn't, but I had my suspects, at least. Should I have run the other way around? Okay, no, I didn't need to run the other way around. Anyway, here we go! Ugh, Monokuma Rock, baby. We're going very far over, which is my bad, but everyone who heard the Monokuma announcement, it wasn't the Monokuma announcement, who just heard the announcement, had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock. That's where I got Monokuma from. And soon enough, there he is.
Is everybody here? Do you guys want to go to the class trial? Hey, Chuck! Hold it right there!
Such a dumb child.
I love that voice line.
What? Don't get in my way. You're just a dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells. My brain works just fine. Monokuma, what did you do with Nekomaru?
Oh, okay, we actually are going to bring him up.
I see. So you've come to avenge him. Avenge? That sounds like he died. Sounds like you say.
Oops. Yeah, I don't really buy that. I don't think I'd kill him off screen.
Since Nekomaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent. Now then, I gotta go first. Hold on! I won't let you escape!
Hey, did you hear what he said? Don't worry about it. There's no way Nekomaru was dead. He's just trying to piss us off. Of course he isn't. Of course he's not dead. There's no way. Not in a million years.
More importantly, it's best we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die.
Why are you so excited about that?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail. What are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
Right, actually, my thing about Mikan kind of works with what Nagito's been saying this chapter too. Like, he's sort of implied that he's not gonna be on the killer's side this time. And I think that might be because, I mean, he's there. He's been with Mikan the whole time. If anyone would know, he'd know. But again, even if he didn't, presuming that Mikan has the despair disease and killed because she has the despair disease, she did not do it out of quote-unquote hope. She had no, like, free reign over her actions. So, you know, why would he support that? She didn't consciously choose that. That was not her hope, as he would say.
Then let's go.
Alright, let's hurry up and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. Well, first of all, I gotta talk to everyone. Starting with you, Nagito. How you doing, buddy?
Just as I thought. This particular incident... Oops, we can continue this later. Right, Hajime?
What's wrong with him? He's even creepier than usual. Yeah, no, I think what I said might be right. Yeah, I mean, look, there's just a lot of things that come together to make Mikan really, like, likely to be the murderer, which would normally be like, probably not, but hardly any of it is actual evidence. So I'm just saying, I'm very confident in saying that Mikan is the murderer. However, the entire method of doing so, not so sure.
It's about time I showed my serious side. Jeez, how troublesome. But I suppose I can display my true power for the sake of our two fallen comrades.
Well, I'd hope so, Gundam.
Hey, what did Monokuma mean just now? Don't tell me Nekomaru's already.
Don't get distracted by Monokuma. We need to focus on the class trial right now.
I know, but...
Hey, what are you whining about? Hurry up and get this over with already. And then we can greet Coach Nekomaru with open arms when he comes back.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be down another person, but yeah. I already figured this, but it's best we don't rely on Monami all that much. She's just saying stupid things, and it'll just make us even more confused. Maybe we should shut her up for good. Actually, what would happen if we killed Monami? Because, I mean, she came back, right, when Monokuma killed her, but... does she also have infinity Monamis?
Let's go. There's no time to waste. I know it's sad, but we need to move forward. And then, we need to end this once and for all. Hiyoko, it must be my fault after all. Then I must learn the truth behind this murder most foul. Now then, let us proceed.
Yeah, see, something like that just doesn't make me think Sonya's gonna do it, or going to have been the murderer. So, like, of the other 3 suspects, they're all unlikely to have been the murderer. And Mikan is so unbelievably likely. And a part of me's like, that must mean she didn't do it, but come on.
I haven't been helpful at all. I couldn't even figure out an estimated time of death. I'm sorry, I'm such a useless piece of trash.
It's gonna be even worse if it really is despair disease, because, like, she has no control over that. That's just fucking sad. Raw. Then I'm gonna feel bad for her again. I mean, it's hard to not feel bad for me, can't it? Pretty much all times, but, like, oh, it's extra bad here. Again, if what I'm saying is correct. We stepped onto the escalator and ascended. Just watch me be so totally wrong. And I've just made up this scenario in my head. And ascended toward the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. And that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller. I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. You're right about that one, Hajime. When everyone was inside Monokuma Rock. Looking at the time, I guess I could have made another episode out of this, but come on, I need personal bragging rights for getting this investigation done in 2 episodes, whereas, like, the last one took, what, 5 or something? The elevator began its deep descent as usual. Jesus, we've lost 4 people, actually, technically, because we lost Nekomaru as well. Jesus Christ. We're going to lose another 1 by the end of this. I mean, we might get Nekomaru back, but someone else is going to die, so we're going to have the same number. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place.
My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either. And Pekko's gone. Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him. Why bother? What? Now then, let's begin. It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content.
And so, the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. Yikes, we are halfway through this game already. Jesus. Kind of feels like I've barely started, but... Ibuki Miyoda, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Hiyoko Sayonji, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mihiru's death. The person who killed those 2 is among us. I definitely can't believe it. Oh, hey, Nekomaru is a little bit darker than everyone else. I like that touch. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why. I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake. For our friends' sake. For Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. And so, the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Save. Oh, baby! Well, I mean, there's really no time for final thoughts. I kind of already did it in the middle of the episode, which was also 10 minutes ago. Jesus Christ. Well, it wasn't at the middle, it was at the end of the episode, but, you know. Anyway, this is it. I'll see you guys in the next one when we start the trial. Something like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I'll see you then.